Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm still Blue Moony, as far as I'm aware. Fantasy writer and shy magical library in human skin. Goodness me, it is cold today. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, only here to lurk you like I have a good stream. Thank you, am I goody? Thank you. I'm glad people are excited. Hello, hello. Oh, I won't stay long today, just until the inspiration spark hits me. Exam season, yay. Oh, goodness me. Wishing you so much luck with your exams, Ashley. Hi, Elfie. Hi, Reaper. Hi, Helga. It's so lovely to see all of you. I'm so sorry I had to cancel last week. That was not something I wanted to do, but I could not make sounds. So that would have been very, very interesting. I did, oh, should I be a little bit bigger here? Probably not necessary, but oh well, there we go. I did, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much, Ancio. So lovely to see you. So lovely to see you. I'm feeling much better than I have, at least, respiratory wise, for the last 2 weeks, but my coughs tend to linger, so apologies in advance if, any coughs sort of blast out unexpectedly. I'm generally fairly on top of telling when they're about to explode, so I'll do my best to either mute or turn away. But yes, you can probably hear my voice isn't, quite recovered yet, but I can speak. So that is something. It got particularly interesting, my inability to speak properly, in trying to, what's the term, corral the small one. Yes, if she can't hear me, it's difficult to ask her to stop doing something, or ask her to do something, or, ask her anything. Oh, dearie me. So it really is quite a lovely feeling to see so many likes before we've even started streaming. It's a very nice feeling, so thank you so much. Hi. It's yes. Oh dear, yes, cold here. I hope all of you are feeling, temperature appropriate and able to adjust to whatever temperature you're being hit with at the moment, because right now I walked the small one to school in 1 degree Celsius weather, so that was fun. Ooh, it would have been interesting to have a stream without you talking. We can look into that in the future. I mean, I did spend a little while trying to think of something we could do, and I remembered Gavis Bettel once did a silent gaming stream, and he put everything in black and white. And I think he went overboard with the expressions, and occasionally just brought up the typies and did it a bit like a silent movie. I caught the end of that stream. That was very cool, but I couldn't quite figure out what to pull together in the time I had. Sorry. Oh, I wish it was colder where I live. Oh, I suppose if it is stupidly hot, yes, I don't enjoy ridiculously hot weather. And at least for the cold, we can just keep layering. Keep laying. How would a silent tune work? Australian Sign Language lesson. Auslan. I am, I would love to learn Auslan. There's actually a fair bit of Auslan that pops up on, Auslan being the Australian Sign Language, sorry, that does pop up on children's television, because one of the former Wiggles, Emma Wiggle, is very, very proficient, and I believe, very proficient at Auslan, and I believe has PhDs in related studies, and now does a lot of Auslan as another children's character, Emma Mema, which the small one enjoys. 1 degree Celsius is nothing. It's something for someone who was born and raised in the subtropics. But yes, it was cold, and the small one was very much rugged up in scarf and mittens and coat and hat, and yes, frost all over the grass, frost all over the dog poops that were everywhere. Many, many frost-covered dog poops. Oh, over here it is very hot. I still played a bit of American football during the heat. Oh, goodness me. Hope you had plenty of water as well and plenty of rest. That just sounds incredible. Just, oh dear, that much exertion in that sort of heat. Just, goodness me. Hope you're okay. Oh, dearie me. Yes, we almost had a slight technical hiccup with this stream because when I got home last night I realised I had left my headphones at the Mother and Father Library's place, which is thankfully not too far away from where I live, so thinking after I take the small one to school I just run over and grab them and run back. And of course, I forget completely. I arrive home, I take off all of my warm stuff and then go to set up the stream, and oh yes, no headphones, so everything back on, run all the way to the Mother and Father Library's house, find the headphones, run back. So we're good, we're fine. Nothing going to go wrong here, of course not, never. When has anything ever gone wrong with our streams? Although I'll admit, I have still expected things to go a lot more wrong than they have. But I'm still a very young streamer. Plenty of time for everything to go completely off the rails. Well, like it's currently 98 degrees Fahrenheit over here. If I'm right, that's in the high 30s in Celsius, I think. High 30s in Celsius, I'm pretty sure. I really need to work on my conversions here. A little bit of chaos as the world needs. Indeed. Indeed, where would we be without a bit of chaos? And I suppose that could be a lovely little segue into our brainstorming session. So let's jump over here, over here. I'm glad my mic was working this morning. That's the only other technical hitch that seems to pop up now and then. It just randomly disconnects and I forget that it randomly disconnects and I panic and then I remember and everything is fine. Alrighty, brainstorming mystical artifacts. So, let's create the most powerful, the most inventive, and the most useful and or useless magical items ever. Hooray! Okay, so I know we had originally been going to do, what was it? Alcoholic spirits? Paranormal alcohol? Something along those lines. We will get to that one. It may not be for a little while, given I'm in the way of thinking this is possibly our last brainstorming stream before I'll have to go on life hiatus. But yeah, I am sorry. I would love to find a way to keep streaming after Small One 2 arrives, but I think I'm probably going to have to go on at least a 6-week break, possibly 2 months, depending on how Small One 2 sort of adapts to life, how I adapt to Small One 2, how the Small One adapts to Small One 2. Bottled spirits, indeed. Indeed, I think a few ways to say it, because I kind of like the idea of having, spirits on tap as well as in bottles. Well, ghostly beings consumed in the manner of alcohol in some way, shape, or form. Oh dear, but yes, my mind got brought around to mystical artifacts because of the new magical girl-esque idea I was having, and I kind of want for that story for there to be a huge number, technically a huge number, not very many in circulation at a time, but I don't want to think about this too much in terms of that particular story. I just want to think of many different mystical artifacts, give them any sort of backstories, any sort of reasons for their creation. Okay, what have we got here? I pulled this together last night. Things to think about. Types of artifacts, their histories and backstories, the powers they themselves sort of have and exert or bestow. In the case of the magical girl story I was thinking of, I think it would be generally bestow on others as opposed to exert powers themselves, but it can be anything we want here. Intended use versus actual use. various levels of sentience. It'd be nice if you know you could have conversations with some of them. Others, you know, barely conscious except, you know, in the most dire or random circumstances. Others, you know, permanently conscious but don't really sort of, you know, intervene much except in random annoying ways. Got different personalities, their traits and habits, their likes and dislikes, strengths and weaknesses. I particularly want to go into, you know, relationships with their users and other magical items, because I like the idea of, you know, magical items having full-on relationships with people or other items. Just feels nice and right to me. Okay, various opinions on anything and how they're expressed. I suppose that goes particularly for those with high sentience but generally low interaction. Just how do they express their opinions, personal goals and whatnot. Oh, take care. Yes, thank you. Oh, take as much as you need. 6 weeks is nothing. Over here, maternity leave is 20 weeks. I think we'll survive that. That's amazing. I think when I was, well, before I had small 1-1, I had been working full-time for a long time, but then I had the, you know, inverted commas, brilliant idea of going down to 4 days a week. Because the 5 days was full-time for that job. Going down to 4 days a week and hopefully getting more writing done on another day. I think a lot of writing did get done, but, you know, still somehow wasn't really productive. But most of the year I was pregnant with small 1-1. I was working the 4 days and I quit, you know, plenty of advance. They knew what was going on. Not long before having her, because yes, I wasn't planning on going back into the office afterwards. I was going to try to work from home, and I had semi-organized it with them, but then, you know, they didn't come through for me, which wasn't very helpful, until they were desperate and they started reaching out to me much later. Oh dear, yeah, that wasn't fun. But yes, back then I think it was, government gives you 14 weeks maternity leave, something like that. Goodness me, I can't remember. But since yeah, I'm not sure many people will count this as a job, and I can't really give myself maternity leave. But I think 6 weeks to 2 months was about how long it took me to recover last time, so we'll see. In any case, hopefully there'll be lots of small 1-2 snoozing, and I'll be able to try to think of more interesting streams to do. I have had a thought recently. It's probably not very smart, but we'll see where we go. Oh, you get 1 year of maternity and paternity leave for a reason up here. Wow. That sounds really cool, honestly. Yeah, if you need a break after giving birth, then it's alright. Thank you. But yes, at the moment planning 6 to 8 weeks, and I'll try to stay on top of community posts on YouTube at least, just so you'll have some idea when I'm coming back. Oh, dearie me. Yes, mystical artifacts. Sorry, tangenting again. Oh, goodness me, do I want my snacks already? Let's see how long I can hold out. I've got the box sitting right in front of me. I want that not so smart idea. Okay, it's kind of along the lines of how I started streaming, which was with the National Novel Writing Month, writing on stream. I wouldn't be going exactly along those lines, because I definitely wouldn't be able to do it every day, and I think it's better not to do it every day, because that got very stressful. But you know, starting a new story on stream, and sort of I'm only allowed to work on it on stream, and so that way it won't sort of occupy my attention too much when I'm trying to work on main magical project or other things. And I guess it's because there's so many things that I want to write, and I'm getting so antsy and desperate. But yes, if I just committed a story to stream, and you know, we can, a reasonably newish story of mine, I wouldn't want to do something I've done too much work on, which sort of I suppose the ideal one to do would be to break out the NaNoWriMo novel from last year, but that one just got so complicated. And I do still love the story and I really want to write it, but I think it'll take a lot of detangling on my own time first. So I was actually thinking about my amphibian magic story, wondering whether to use that, because that one started as a short story, maybe, goodness me, 12, 13 years ago now. So I could share the short story with you before going on to do a bit of world building, a bit of character building, a lot of chapter planning, because, you know, I tend to go overboard and write very, very long, and I need to stop doing that. I need to learn how to contain myself and my writing, just so things get done, more than any other reason. Ooh, I already have an idea. Wonderful. I think you're onto something. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that if we try something like this, it will work. I suppose it feels more like what I'd initially thought this channel would be, more writing. I don't think I'd be able to do the actual writing part on stream, or if I did, it would be, I'd still be streaming and chatting, but a lot of the stream would probably be quiet and just tippity-typity, and, you know, what I'm actually writing being off screen, because, yeah, that bit got really, really hard with the Nano story. The planning was fine. All of that was absolutely fine, but when it came to actually writing, I think I just got very, very self-conscious, and that got difficult. I can definitely do intense planning. The way I prefer to write is, you know, coming up with a fairly detailed plan, and then chapter by chapter, incredibly intense note-taking, as in almost the entire story down in note form. And that should be fine with streaming, but when I'm actually pulling it together into something readable and hopefully good, I may have to take that off screen. Sorry. Maybe chat can help you write along the way. That would be wonderful. That way you can bounce ideas and edit as you go. That would be really cool. I mean, particularly with going into the intense planning stage. Yes, light planning and then intense planning chapter by chapter. But I had wanted to do this with a standalone, and I was thinking about doing it with my Welsh-inspired Fae story. But I think I will lean towards the amphibian. Working title's Amphibian Rivalry. The only problem being it's not standalone. It'll probably be at least three books. Hopefully 3 reasonably contained ones. And I guess in my head I'm still thinking light novel-ish, so 50 to 70 or 50 to 80,000 words or so. I think that's roughly light novel-ish. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but is anyone aware how horrifying lead, arsenic, even cobalt is? I'll go on if you want. You can talk about lead and arsenic and cobalt if you want. Of course you can. I mean, could they be worked into our mystical artifacts when we get to it? I bet they could. I bet we could. Oh dear. We should probably move on with the mystical artifacts. Sorry for tangenting again, but that's what I'm thinking. It probably wouldn't be particularly intelligent of me to start a project, start a writing streaming project until we come back after hiatus. But something to think about. Oh great, another tangent. Also, I kind of want to play Slay the Princess on stream. Would people enjoy that? It's on special right now, and I've been watching Markiplier play it, and I am just fascinated. So I really do want to give that one a go. When you're feeling ready to post your light novel, I'd love to offer to draw the cover. Oh, thank you so much. That would be wonderful. Yes, I have mentioned my difficulty in commissioning artwork and such. I've been wanting to commission a logo for Main Magical Project for months upon months, but I just can't bring myself to do it. I am too shy. Blue is a shy magical library. Oh, I want to play Slay the Princess. Yes, I do too. So I'm probably going to procure the game. I believe it's on special on Steam right now. And maybe play it next week. That might be nice. Yes, may need to keep things cruisy. Oh dear. Hopefully this shouldn't upset anyone. Should be okay, but yes, needing to keep streams a bit cruisier as we go. I'm getting slightly further away from my monitor every week because there is someone in the way. Oh, I'd also love to help you with the logo too. Well, maybe we can chat about that. That could be lovely. I can show you the random stuff I've been working on. But yes, as I've said before, Blue, yes, graphic design is not Blue's passion. Okay. Down we go. I started one for us just to sort of give us an idea sort of how we're going to structure this. I was thinking maybe we try to keep this session slightly more... Is focused the right word? I'm not sure. I mean, all our other brainstorming sessions have been glorious free-for-alls, which have been fantastic. But I think for this one we might have to try to keep things a bit more contained and maybe work on one artifact at a time. And I suppose it'll be a little bit more like how we made our Salaprancer beast. Just working on one artifact at a time and just... Yes, never allowed to say no, always yes and... So we can build up some very, very interesting artifacts like that, hopefully. Oh, goodness me, 7 likes and 7 viewers. That's pretty amazing for me. Thank you so much. Okay, so first mystical artifact, we have a skillet, or a frying pan. We don't really use the term skillet too much in Australia, but I love the term. It just sounds... It's an awesome word. I love the word skillet. Just so you know. But magical skillet frying pan. Oh dear. Oh wait, I wanted it to be a magical copper skillet / frying pan. Oh, 8. Thank you. Yes, very, very old. About 2,500 years old. Also with artifacts. I think artifact implies something specifically human-made. So we're going to stick with human-made things here. Okay, so special powers. When the chosen bearer swings, it never misses. Frying pan. Who knew? Excellent weapon. We know that from Tangled. We know that from Lord of the Rings. If you've got a frying pan, you're good. And so, little backstory for this one. Bestowed with powers at the prayer of a young woman who must protect her family while her father and brothers are at war. However, nowadays, more often used to scramble eggs at 2 a.m. and otherwise kept in a dark, dusty cupboard by the young game enthusiast who picked it up cheap at a street market. This poor mystical artifact. Oh dear. The copper magically resists rusting. Oh, that's probably another power that it'll have. Just as a result of the magic. Brilliantly clean no matter what. Still must wash after using it to cook. Oh dear. Wonder how it would handle mold. Opinions on mold? Oh dear. For sure, if it's sentient, then we'll have to discuss how it can communicate. Definitely. I do like the idea of some artifacts just being able to telepathically communicate, but I like the idea of some being a lot more subtle as well, so we can hopefully have a whole range of different ideas. Okay, bit of personality for this one. Once cheerful, now unfortunately rather cynical. A little shy and hesitant to approach people or probably other artifacts. Can be brutally honest and tough on others, I imagine. Probably only once they're sort of more settled into a situation or more comfortable around them. Oh dear. Cobalt poison symptoms. Cardiomyopathy, deafness, nerve problems, tinnitus. Tinnitus? Not sure what the correct way to pronounce that is. Tinnitus, I think. Thickening of the blood, thyroid problems, and vision problems. You need cobalt to survive. You only need just a taste of cobalt. Tiny bit of cobalt. Too much. Do not want too much. No, thickening of blood. Blue already has enough health issues with thick blood, so no thank you. No thank you. No more. Yes, that's why. Oh yeah, I think I've complained at least once that I need to have daily injections because of the blood issue. Yeah, just while I'm pregnant and for a little while afterwards, so that's fun. I haven't done that yet. I'll have to do that after the stream. Tinnitus, I'm pretty sure is the pronunciation. Thank you. I will try to remember that. Tinnitus. Sounds sort of more scientific, at least, than tetanus. Tinnitus. Oh dear. I thought there should be a fair range of how a mystical artifact sort of winds up with a bearer who can use its powers. Well, I suppose it could be a one ring situation where anyone who puts on the ring disappears, which, isn't really using much of its powers. So I suppose that's another interesting thing, whether there's just side effect powers no matter who's holding it, but only the chosen bearer or someone powerful enough can actually truly use it and make use of its true powers. But yeah, I suppose some artifacts could be very, very generous or not picky, and anyone who picks them up could use them. Or maybe there's only certain types of people they want using them, or maybe, they could get desperate and just grab whoever's there. Oh, chemistry sometimes works like that. One of the most explosive elements in the entire Mendeleev table, and the element that fuels burning till they make water. Goodness me. Chemistry. Well, I suppose not just chemistry, but existence is pretty amazing. The stuff we're built of. Stuff we're built with. That of which we are built is very cool. Goodness me. I didn't do chemistry in school. I did one chemistry course at university, and I regretted it. It's possibly just because what's the term? That chemistry course is sort of mushed up in my mind with possibly my worst year. The worst year I remember, which is when I was 19. Wasn't a good year. That's okay. That way it's not a direct chosen one thing. Yes, Blue has an issue with chosen ones, which I suppose it would be funny to work on the NaNoWriMo novel in that sense, because it's all about poking fun at the chosen ones trope. I don't think there's any sort of one. Well, I think it's highly unlikely there's any one person destined to wield a magical artifact. So it's far more interesting to think of other ways, isn't it? Oh, sodium is deadly, but table salt is a seasoning indeed. Oh goodness me, salt. I want my snacks. Open the snacks! Sorry, I only had a very small breakfast. Yeah. Small one did not want to wake up and get out of warm bed, which I 100% understand, but it does put us slightly behind in our morning schedule. So, snacks. Ooh. What? Howl House? Owl House? Owl Howl? Howl Owl. Owl Howl. Owl House is the Disney Channel show, isn't it? It is not one I have seen yet, but it is one I've been intending to watch at one point. Excuse me, snack. Nom, nom, nom. Owl House. Nom. Sorry. These are the Dixie drumsticks. I think I've waxed poetic about them before. They were my favourite snack when I was little, and then they disappeared for I think at least a decade. And then I think another company acquired the rights, and they are back, and they are still delicious. Yeah, Owl House is pretty good. I have heard many good things. I will intend to watch it. Possibly with the small one. I might wait till she gets a little bit older so she is more likely to appreciate it, though. Okay, so with this magical skillet, so God has not chosen a bearer or been used as a weapon in centuries, is feeling bored and useless, poor baby skillet. Makes the decision to choose the next person who picks it up and try to start enjoying existence again. Okay, so keeping in mind all of these things to think about, the backstories, the powers, intended actual use. I wonder what sort of sentience levels this fry pan has. I kind of like the idea of this one is actually telepathically chatting. Or, you know, once it starts a relationship with someone, it will telepathically chat with them. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom. Sorry. Snacks are good. Okay, so maybe we should think more about Skillet's traits, habits, things it likes, strengths and weaknesses. I suppose we don't really want to come up with full stories for them, but you know, we could think about its ideal user, or maybe who the next person who picks it up is and how they get on. So just throw thoughts at me. And remember, Blue is not allowed to say no, it's only allowed to say yes and. Because people are complicated, people can have, well, when I say people, I of course include mystical items in that. People and or mystical items are complicated. People can have so many different personality traits that just seem to clash, and see, nobody's actually like that. Yes, they are. People are complicated. Oh, Owl House, it's all about poking fun at the chosen one trope and LGBTQ plus representation and acceptance. Poking fun at the chosen one, got to thinking, poking fun at the chosen ones, yes. Oh, wait, what if the pan sends you a subtle but less and less visible impulses of will, like the One Ring or a Master of Swords? Ooh, okay. So, pan sends subtle, I can spell. Subtle and increasingly irresistible impulses of will. But so these impulses can sort of force doesn't sound right for the pan, but sort of push feelings to sort of convey its point, something like that. What it wants to say, something like that. Oh, a long time ago there was a fake Zelda game leak. You play as an imposter Link, but your actions prove you be a worthy hero anyway, despite not being the chosen one. Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. How was it called? How was what called, I'm sorry? Blue's mind is just wow. Maybe a snack will help. Nom, nom, nom. Okay. So... the fake Zelda. I'm sorry. Okay, so if the pan sends subtle and increasingly irresistible impulses of will to sort of convey its feelings and what it wants to say, as opposed to telepathy. So I imagine just through that someone would be able to tell the pan has chosen them. But I suppose as well, if they communicate like this, so possibly able to tell pan has chosen them, you know, gives them a funny feeling anyway. Need to keep pan close, etc. Still probably have to discover the pan's powers themselves. Oh dear. Maybe it could control its intake of heat, and that's why it can chase away undesired chosen rulers. Okay. So if it heats itself up, if it's too hot to touch, someone can't wield it? Or do you mean perhaps if it's, or it uses its heat to sort of as a way to help choose people? So if it's too hot for someone, they're not worthy, or something like that? Or randomly turning its handle from an isolator into a conductor. Ooh. What if the pan will turn into insert toxic metal if it doesn't like someone? I'm not sure the pan wants to actually injure anyone, but definitely some way of driving people away who it doesn't want. I suppose then one could wonder how it wound up in this cupboard, but I think maybe it's just very tired and it just went along with things for a while. Okay. So, pan can control its heat. Use this as a way to choose bearers. And its handle from conductor. And pan can how can we phrase it? Can chemically drive people away. It's a little odd me using pan here because I actually have a character in a story called Pan, of the P-A-N. Full name Panesta, but generally goes by Pan. Goodness me, it's been forever since I've worked on that story. Pan can chemically drive away undesirables by briefly altering its composition. Something along those lines, maybe. Okay. Joke idea, but hear me out. What if it starts longing for the good old days when it sees its cook playing PUBG? This game pans a melee weapon that deflect bullets. Oh, that could be fun. When did I lose that edge? Oh dear, that's really sweet and sad and fun. Let's pop that in, given it is a game enthusiast. Oh dear. So I think the pan would become a fan of that game and just sort of longingly watch it being played. Like, I want this again. I want this to be my life again. Okay, so comes a fan of watching. I don't really want to call the person who, in inverted commas, owns it at the moment its bearer, because this person isn't really their bearer. Although it probably will be the next person to touch it, so it may become the bearer. Current holder might be the best way. Pan sued? I hope not. Pan's used as a melee weapon. Nostalgic. Wants this life again. Oh dear, how about the pan repairing itself with metal from the bodies of the unchosen? Like pulling iron out of their blood, Magneto style, yes. Oh dearie me. I think possibly it could be capable of doing that, but I'm not sure this particular pan would. So I don't think the pans particularly, I mean, they're jaded, but I don't think they're vindictive or evil, or possibly they would only do something like that if they needed desperately to repair, but I don't think they would go specifically for the unchosen, because I don't think it's necessarily someone's fault that they're unchosen. It's just, you know, not meant to be. It's just not meant to be. Oh, dearie me. Let us see. Pan is capable of repairing itself with metal from the bodies of humans / other living beings. Perhaps does not routinely do this. Only if desperate. Okay, the fake Zelda game was called Valley of the Flood, but remember it was all made up and never official. And that's okay. That's okay. It'd still be a wonderful thing without being official. I mean, you know, fan fiction is a thing. A glorious, glorious thing. Using metal from the bodies of other living things to repair itself is a fantastic idea. I just, again, this pan, I think it was originally quite a shy, sweet thing, and is still quite shy. Not saying that shy people can't be absolutely brutal, and I know we've got here, where are we? Can be very honest and tough on others, but I don't think, I'm not sure this particular pan, possibly another one, I'm not sure this particular pan would just, you know, okay, I'm a bit broke, must suck metal out of people who are not worthy of me. Yeah, what if whenever you bonk someone with a pan it actually flattens their enemies, like in a cartoon? Oh, I mean, look at the history of Persona 5 Imagining Project. Ooh, I may have to do that. Oh, Persona 5 is another one I really want to play. I've started it a few times, and I'm just in love with the story and the style. Just, you know, life keeps getting in the way of continuing. Oh dear. Atlas is actually okay with people playing that on stream. I think they just request you stop at a certain date for spoilers, but I'm not sure that would still be in effect given the game came out so long ago. Maybe not flatten every time, but if swung with enough intent, maybe. And that way, you know, can just end really dangerous fights quickly. But, you know, that way we're not just flattening random people who we've swung at when we've been startled. Oh dear. Why can't the pan turn the things it hits into cartoon versions of themselves temporarily and randomly? In a certain style of story, that could be very fun. It could only work when the wielder is perfectly in sync, and when the wielder is perfectly in sync with the pan. Maybe. I wonder what kind of training they've got to do to get perfectly in sync. Lots of cooking. Like the pen and the wheel have to be in sync. Yep. I typed too fast. You type fine. We know what you mean. Okay. Do we want to think of anything else for this particular pan? Do we have any, you know, random traits, random habits, random likes or dislikes, strengths or weaknesses? Just throw a few more things down here and then maybe we can start a new artifact. Okay, we already kind of have its personal goals to sort of, you know, get its life back, I guess. Restore itself to former glory. Oh dear. Savior, I love that. The training arc could be just cooking. That would be fun. Yum. Oh dear. I think it's important to know what is the pan's favorite foods. What are the pan's favorite foods? You get a small cooking hat for its hand from the cook as a sign of friendship. That's very cute. occasionally. Yay, deepening friendship between saucepan and wielder. Oh, I think something about the pan communicator using sizzling or imprinting burn marks in text could be interesting. Yes, that could work really well, along with the sort of pushing of feelings, because using the sizzling or burn imprints can just sort of make it a bit more clear. Possibly Pan getting frustrated that the communication isn't getting through well enough. Sizzle levels. Let's communicate. Remember that every fold means one more way of making eggs in those. Oh, the oils could be written or made into pictures to emote. Oh, okay. I see this. Round to form words, emojis, etc. Okay. So, what would the pan's favourite foods be? That just seems like an important like to have here for a pan. You flip the toasty and the pan reads get pocket. Pan getting desperate for, well, violence. The action would be more appropriate than violence. Maybe if you boil water, it could use the steam to create images. That could work too. I like the idea that it can sort of use any of these things. Use any of these things to start getting its point across. I mean, sometimes I see images when I clean my pans and I might be too imaginative. No, I think we are primed to see patterns. So yes, I always see faces on the walls, you know, in dirt marks on walls, or in marble swirls. Goodness me, I think I just said the same word in how many different ways? I thought there were two different. There's swells and swalls. Apparently there are no swalls. Blue is imagining the swalls. Pancakes. The pan likes pancakes. Pancakes! Pancakes, of course, superior to waffles. I have nothing against waffles. Waffles are delicious. Just pancakes are superior. Nom, nom, nom. I like making pancakes. Maybe we should do that on stream one time, once I figure out hand cams and such. Who knows how long that'll take. Well, I like waffles more, but that's okay. That's okay. I have absolutely nothing against waffle appreciators. It's not like, oh dear, maybe this is only a here thing, but do you find with cat and dog people that cat people tend to you know, they love cats more, but they also love dogs, but dog people tend to be very anti-cat? Is that just something random that I've come across that doesn't actually exist? Yes, I'm definitely not anti-waffle. I am all for waffle inclusion. Waffles are delicious. I just prefer pancakes. Oh, I think of how life would be with telekinesis at least once a week, usually once a day. I still occasionally try to telekinesis things just to make sure I'm still not telekinetic. You know, try to close toilet seat with mind every now and then. Just, you got to make sure. You never know. Your brain chemicals or connections could shift with age. Things could change. We could all grow into telekinetes. I don't know, maybe if people lived more routinely to 150 years old, maybe once you crack 150, you know, your brain is in the perfect stage to be telekinetic or something. Oh, thanks to Centralot, I love calling them giggle cakes. Giggle cakes! Such a cute name. Do you think the pan has dietary restrictions? Ooh. That could be. You mean like a peanut allergy or something, so we can't use peanut oil? Something like that. Oh, pancakes are great in house with the taste of a waffle with fruit and whipped cream on the seashore. Ooh, wow. But yeah, both are great. It's a story. Oh, I have a dog-owning friend that didn't like cats but changed his mind once he started living with his girlfriend's cat. That's nice. That's nice. Yes, Blue doesn't think she could ever own a dog. Blue doesn't think she has the energy to be able to care for a dog. Definitely prefer to cuddle cats, but you know, every cute puppo you see outside is like, Puppo! It's a puppo! It's a beautiful puppo! Hello, puppo! Oh, the pan be mad if I made fajitas with it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure the pan would have anything against fajitas, assuming there's not anything, you know, it truly doesn't like in the ingredients. Who doesn't like fajitas? They're so good. Alrighty. I think we've talked about this skillet a fair bit. If you have any other skillet related thoughts, let me know. But let us create, next mystical artifact. And I'm not sure how long I should actually stream today. I know I try to go for as long as possible with brainstorming streams so we can get everything done that we want to get done. But given I'm still not 100% health-wise, well, 100% feels silly to talk about. Yeah, I think general life I probably hover between 65 and 85%, which I suppose is really high compared to so many people, so I shouldn't complain. But yes, I don't remember what 100% feels like. Oh, so do we have a new MacGuffins topic? Sequentennial telekinesis, maybe. It could be interesting. And I did see that sort of pop up recently. I came across a YouTube video on BookTube just talking about what fantasies sort of being written these days are missing. And something that people seem to want more is older protagonists. I think someone said, you know, I just want a random 80-year-old grandma to be the chosen one. Like, that would actually be really cool. And I think someone did say, perhaps a bit tongue-in-cheek, an advance, which, yeah, that'd be nice too. Oh, maybe the pan... back we go. Maybe the pan gets mad when you mispronounce a dish's name. Oh, a stickler for perfection when it comes to food. That sounds good. So I kind of like the idea that even though the pan may be resentful that it's only used for cooking, now it's still a foodie. I have an idea for an artifact that is a candle that can ignite any kind of flame the user desires, both fictional and real. The cost is the wax. It's made out of the user's soul or something equal. Goodness me. Let's look into that. Your health takes priority, thank you. Interesting brainstorming bit. If you were a pan, then the only one of the 5 basic senses you'll have for sure are touch and hearing through vibrations. Yes. So, what's it called? Is it, touch. Is that somatosensory? Somatosensory. Oh goodness me, that's psychology terms. I think tactile might be easier. I'm not sure. Touch is probably just easier. Touch. Hearing through vibrations. That's a very interesting point. That means you'll perceive the food you're cooking in a different way and it'll shape which is your favorite. Well, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure least favorite food is eggs due to overexposure. Okay, so let's think about this candle that Hulk guy has brought up. I think that's a good one to move on to. Let's think about a candle. Okay, so can ignite any kind of flame the user desires, fictional or real. The cost. So the wax that is sort of burnt up and used is replaced. Do you mean by some part of the user's soul? And so if you pour too much into it, you will cease to exist, sort of, along those lines. Be careful not to pour too much of yourself into the candle. And for goodness sake, don't use it unless you have to. Oh dear me. Oh wow, 9 likes and 9 viewers. Thank you so much. That's so lovely of you. Welcome to people who have just come here. We are brainstorming. We have been talking about magical skillets, and now we are talking about magical candles. Yay! So if you have any ideas at all, just throw them into chat, and we can build these wonderful mystical artifacts. Just jump back again to things that we're going to be thinking about. So the types of artifacts. So we've had the skillet, and we're working on the candle now. Their backstories, how they came into being, the powers they have and or bestow, what they were meant to be used for, what they're actually used for, sentience levels, personality traits, habits. I'm reading this out even though you can see it. Likes and dislikes. Basically, these artifacts are pretty much people. Even if their sentience levels are very low and they only sort of poke into consciousness now and then, they have likes, dislikes. They are beings as opposed to not beings. Oh, here we are. Oh, back with Skillet for a sec. Like, for an example, pancakes start as a liquid, about the consistency of a yogurt, and turn into either oily, porous sheet or a pillow, depending on how thick you make them. Indeed. Reminds me of how Charmander's flame, when its tail gets extinguished, it dies. Pokemon lore to be creepy sometimes. Indeed. Particularly, what is it, that balloon Pokemon? They can just lift up children and abduct them? Blue's not sure about that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, candle. Driftloon, that's the one. Thank you, Cyrix. Thank you. And welcome. Hello. Driftloon. Goodness me, it shows how long it's been since I've played Pokemon, isn't it? Oh, the candle could use the souls they take. Give them to the last person wielding before it burned out. Huh. So you're saying the flame itself could be sort of powered by the souls, and gives them to gives the souls to the wielder. What would the wielder do with those souls? It's just sort of, that's the term I was looking for before, amalgamate. And just sort of have tainted doesn't seem like the right word, but I suppose that could be a cost of the candle is having your soul tainted to an extent. Let's work this through. Let's see, so candle could use the souls they take. So is the candle using souls? I suppose it's souls of previous users? Maybe. What do these souls do to the user? Taint souls. Extend life. Oh, maybe if you ignite other things, you can give life to it. Okay. So candle can either bring inanimate objects to life or resuscitate things. Oh dear. Resuscitate. Look at me try to spell resuscitate. Can it even tell? Oh, it can at least tell. That's what I was trying to say. Goodness me. But you have several other individuals live in your head rent-free. Fair enough. Goodness me. Annette, an abandoned doll fueled by hatred, fixated on revenge of its former owner. This game is rated G. Oh dear. It's like All Might's Wonderful. Oh dear. My Hero Academia. I keep meaning, that's one I do keep meaning to watch. There's so many things I mean to watch and mean to play, but life is really obstructive, isn't it? Oh, hold up. Tulpas summoning candle? What is a Tulpas summoning candle? All I'm thinking for summoning things and candles isn't there's something like that in Stardust? Oh, no, that's teleportation, isn't it? That's not summoning. What is a Tulpa summoning candle? Sorry. Snack. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom, nom. Well, hello there. Hello, Corbzilla. So lovely to see you. So lovely to see you. We're on our second mystical artifact. We are creating this wonderful candle. Oh dear. Oh dear. In my headcanon, the ghost Pokemon Pokedex entries are just legends and hearsay, not entirely descriptive of the Pokemon itself. I think I'd like to lean towards that interpretation as well, Cyrix. It's yeah, I don't really like where they go with some of those ghost Pokemon. Excuse me, sorry. I think treating them as legend is a very good way to go about it. Like a candle you burn to summon yourself a tulpa. Educate Blue, please. What is a tulpa? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, goodness me. 10 likes and 9 viewers. Thank you so much. This means so much to Blue. Thank you. Oh, maybe the candle could instantly light when it's in a dark space. Oh, just a reaction. Does that mean the candle's afraid of the dark? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, sorry, what is a tulpa? Yes, I'm unsure as well. I should look it up, but... Oh, like a spooky forest or something. Indeed. Spooky forest. Is the candle afraid of the dark? Maybe. So we have quite a bit here of how it could work and what its powers are. So powers seem to be, well, of course light, but uses souls to burn, can ignite any kind of flame. Oh, dearie me. Let's think about... Oh, I love the idea of a candle that's afraid of the dark. I think it's kind of sweet. I mean, at the moment this candle has seemed very, very sort of mysterious and powerful, but it being afraid of the dark is cute. Maybe it sort of puts on a bit of a pompous, mysterious act. But actually, you know, mysterious act actually, you know, shy and goofy or something. Oh, how about a wish granting candle, like the little match girls and matches, but every time you use it your soul replaces the wax. Oh goodness me. Let's pop that down too. Let's put a few limits on it, so maybe just only certain kinds of wishes. I'm not sure about making it things as all-powerful as genies, maybe, but definitely certain kinds of wishes. Wishes, possibly even, possibly grant visions or something. Remember, we're just tossing ideas down. We're not, you know, making these artifacts final, just throwing lots of ideas of how these sort of things could work. Could grant wishes or visions, but every time it's used, soul replaces the wax. Oh, maybe the candle is a manifestation of your soul in the metaphorical sense. Like maybe when you feel scared, it's dim, and when you feel intense emotions, the light grows brighter. Maybe. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry. I will have some water, see if that helps. Oh, dearie me. Sorry about that. Candle of manifestation of your soul. Feel scared, dimmer, bigger emotions, bigger light. Oh, I don't know how to explain it well. Skillet, I'm afraid. Basically, a tulpa is a headmate you create yourself intentionally. A non-expert in plurality, sorry. Goodness me, that's not something I've heard of. So... did I spell that wrong? Yes, I did. That's very interesting. I might have to look into that. Maybe only the innocent wishes of children. Maybe. That seems particularly twisted when, you know, we take the child's soul then to replace the wax. Oh, dearie me. Goodness, goodness, goodness. So we've talked a lot about powers. How did this candle initially get created, do we think? Okay, I'm just going to pop down a few questions that might be useful to answer. How was the candle, well, not just how, but how and why was the candle originally created? I think they're human-made. I don't think they always have to be, you know, I think with the skillet, I think the skillet already existed and became magical through prayer. But yes, I don't think the items don't have to originally be magical. I think they could start out as normal items, but they could also just be created magical to begin with by, you know, could be by human magicians, could be through like the skillets, through prayer and perhaps some god being putting things into something ordinary and making it less than ordinary, or it could just be pulled into being by strange forces. Many different options. How and why was a candle originally created? Okay. I suppose the why sort of would cover its original purpose. Stop it with the apostrophes. Candle might not know it takes souls. I think that's a good idea. That's candle doesn't realize how it works, that it takes souls. Oh dear, devastated when it finds out. Okay, so how and why was it originally created? Sentience levels and communication. think if we just put personality, it'll include things like likes and dislikes and lots of random stuff. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, an evil warlock for sure. Oh dear. Created. Oh, evil warlock. I was thinking that it was a creation by a magician researching the legend of the little match girl and the magical matches. That's interesting. Okay, so created by an evil question mark warlock magician. Inspired by folk tales. Just one G, please. Create candle. Maybe it was made by a powerful witch warlock to teach others about self-worth, which is why it represents you or others, especially with the soul taking. Created to teach others about self-worth. Represents you others. Soul taking. Or a beast similar to the one from over the garden wall. These are all great ideas. Hi Blue. Hi Sune. So lovely to see you. We are in the process of creating a magical candle. If you have any thoughts for how the candle talks, what the candle's personality is, I think we've got a small idea of what this one's personality might be like. Yeah, I think we had it as putting on the mysterious act, but actually being pretty sweet, and I think I prefer sweet over goofy. No, sweet over shy. We had a shy skillet, a sweet candle. Magician just likes a renewable wish-granting device, and it just so happens it takes the souls of the innocent. Side effect. I didn't mean this to happen. It's just, yeah, you know, everything has a cost. Everything has a cost. If we want to have wishes, we want to have wishes. Let's just... Where are we here? Where are we here? The folktales. Who likes the idea of a renewable wish-granting device? Yeah, because most wish-granting devices are very, very limited, aren't they? I suppose a lot of magicians would be highly enamored with the idea of a renewable wish-granting device. Just so happens to happens to steal the souls of the innocent. Whoops. Side effect. Oh, and the magician uses it to get bagels. Yum. Oh dear. I'm really not sure about does that mean the candle is loaded with the original creator's soul and it's only there because bagels? Excuse me. Oh dearie me. Water, please save Blue's voice. Here we go. Okay, so now we've had some thoughts. Oh dear. I feel like I do have to put bagels down there. Candle to bagel obsession. Help, how do you strike through text in Google Docs? I want to edit my idea file. I think, isn't there a I thought there was just a strike through button at the top near the by the underline and bold and italics buttons. It's been a long time since I've used Google Docs though. I'm sorry, I'm probably wrong. Sorry. No snack. Nom nom nom. Okay. So sentience level and communications.
Hmm. Well, my mind just automatically wants to make all of these items have very, very high sentience, but maybe... Should we pop the candle in the middle somewhere? And maybe that's why it had trouble sort of realizing what's going on with the souls. Sort of middling levels of sentience, which might be why it hasn't figured out it steals souls. I would say it would communicate by communicate by smoke signals. Well, I smoke anyway. Create pictures. That could be cute. So I'm not sure about using its light. I mean, it's sort of showed. I think it can use its light levels to indicate emotion, but if we go with it reflects the wielder's feelings and stuff. Using it like that might not work. We haven't talked too much about any kind of flame yet. Oh dear. So maybe if anyone has any thoughts for different sorts of flames that could be summoned as well. Because I do like the idea of, you know, magical items. I mean, I like the idea of some having very, very set and rigid rules and it can only do this one thing. But I kind of like the idea of very sort of free-flowing. Both the Skillet and this one have had several sort of powers each. A lot of this feels so clashing. I think that's okay. I mean, it's a little difficult to, you know, be really, really focused and create just one item when we're going with chat and we're, yes, not saying no, only saying yes and. But, I suppose another way we could do it is that I just sort of take the first idea that pops up for a power and then we just keep it as that. But it's probably more fun for brainstorming to... I mean, we're still keeping it contained in that we're keeping it to just one item at a time. But, yeah, I think we're okay. I'm sorry if it is a little confusing. Blue will possibly get better at moderating brainstorming in the future. I was thinking the candle could be just wanting for someone to use it. That's always tempting any nearby people. Okay, so it likes to be used. It likes being useful, maybe. So always trying to get whoever is nearby to be its bearer. It possibly also likes to help. I think that's sweet. I mean, both of these, the Skillet and the candle, have been both sort of sweet things so far, but that's just probably reflecting of the kind of items Blue would like to do. Maybe the next one should be a more sort of all-powerful, maybe something all-powerful and dangerous and all of that, but only has one not particularly useful power or something. Colors of flames. Red, blue, green, purple, white, black. It could be more sentient due to how much the user wants it to be. Okay. So, sentience level sort of it's reflected the right word? I'm not sure. Changes depending on how sentient the user wants it to be. Is that what you mean, sort of? Well, that's true. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming. Indeed, we just get everything down. And if anyone wants to use it for their stories, you just trawl through, find what you want, and push it all together the way you want it done. Brainstorming is just collective think tank. Everything counts. Everything is useful. Determining what is used for determines how much is used. I see. A vengeful sword could be fun or horrific. Well, let's throw that down for the next one. Kind of, if we try to think along that one, having the vengeful sword, but it's actually, you know, not actually that scary or something like that. Vengeful sword that actually isn't that scary. Sorry. Oh, don't know how much wax is used. Okay, so sentence double change depending on. Okay, so that in a sense then, candle would become more sentient as the user becomes more tainted and or less sentient, wherever that could work. I was thinking of being a neutral being. Okay. Could be interesting too. Yeah, sorry if it's gotten really far away from what your original thoughts were. I suppose that is just the nature of brainstorming, but definitely if you had some super amazing ideas related to the candle and there was a particular story you wanted to write, please go for it. I would be so happy to read it. So happy to read all of your stories, really. I'm hoping we will get to a final MacGuffins You Write stream reading these stories before I have to go on hiatus. But I suppose even if we don't get to it before I have to go on hiatus, maybe I'll be able to do at least one stream while on hiatus so we can cover that, because at least reading MacGuffins You Write stories isn't particularly taxing. Arty for cats? No mystical cats, please. Yeah, terrifying enough without being mystical. I'm just dropping 2 random ideas and then I'll get going. Is a mask too cliche for an artifact? Never. Never. Let's pop it down so we don't forget. Capital, please. 4. Mask. Okay. So, the 3 sacred treasures of the land of moons and feathers, the H-Truth mirror, the toasty cutter, and the word-bearing Magatama. Wow, that is impressive. Goodness me. I'll pop it down for thought. The 5-ish. Okay. Type. Blue can type. I should do another typing stream. Sacred treasures. Land of moons and feathers. Doopy-doopy-doo. Goodness me, that's intense. Oh, I love magical masks. Me too. What if the sword is dull? The sword is dull and cannot be sharpened. Still can't miss. This might as well be a mace. Possibly that's a, you know, a sore point for this sword. Doopy-doo. Death by 1,000 volts. Ouch. Oh dear. Also, one of my camp guardians once went to a katana museum in Japan. The museum keeper allowed her to touch one sword. Imagine her fright. Two left she was holding was Muramasa's sword. Oh, goodness me. The sword gets sharper the more vengeance you have. Okay, so sword sharpness depends on vengeance levels. I kind of like the idea then that it still won't get sharp because nobody has those levels of vengeance anymore. Because no one has the levels of vengeance the sword requires. Requires. And the reason for that, Muramasa's swords are said to be cursed by bringing a bloodlust on their wielders. Oh no. Oh no. Bloodlust curse. Not a good curse. That is far more than an inconvenient curse. That is a nasty curse. No bloodlust, please. What if the mask reveals the true self whenever you wear it? Like no lies, no hiding, even if it's bad. Like a shadow in Persona 4. Okay. Well, I will throw it down. Then we might try to focus on the sword before moving on to the mask, because otherwise Blue's head is going to be pulled in even more directions than it generally already is. Goodness me, your focus levels are far better than mine. Revelas? Reveals. Oh, watch Owl House. Whoever said that earlier deserves a raise. It will be watched eventually, I promise. Sorry. Coughing. Restraining cough. Goodness me, I hope that coughing's not too loud. Sorry, I'm turning away from the mic and smothering an elbow. I should probably be muting, but I don't think I'm quite fast enough on the mouse to pull that off. Maybe the sword always makes the noblest thing for the wrong reasons. Makes them do noble... Oh, the sword wants to do noble things, but for the wrong reasons? Like recognition or something. I think this sword's got a big ego. Big ego. Yeah, what if the sword size shrinks when a non-violent person wields it and becomes a letter opener? Non-violence. Non-violent. For the size of a letter opener. This sword does not like this. Oh dear, I can just hear this sword cussing out the non-violent people wielding it and trying to raise bloodlust but getting nowhere. Tries to raise bloodlust levels, but generally gets nowhere. Oh goodness me, this sword sounds like fun. Oh dear. And thanks for the raise, Sune. So, the most wholesome types of people end up holding it like a knife, yes. So I'm taking it this sword doesn't really get much choice in its bearers. It's just whoever picks it up. and it just sort of works for whoever picks it up. And I think this would also be a sore point. I think there's a lot of sore points for this sword. The sword has a chip on its shoulder. Oh dear. I am thee, thou art me. We're a happy family, the mask said as it morphed into the head of a cartoon dog suit. Goodness me. The sword is Canadian and always talking you into getting more vengeance, but secretly helps you process grease and gets rid of your penchant for vengeance. Oh yes. Actually, that would be a really cool sort of passive power that the sword might not even be aware of. That's really cool. Oh goodness me. I wonder if it was like that from the beginning, or if that's sort of a, you know, inverted commas curse on the sword because it was way too power hungry and such. Now it helps. But it doesn't really. Yeah, I kind of prefer the idea that it still doesn't really know it's helping, because that way it just gets more and more frustrated. Oh dear, yeah, it's special but not like a King Arthur blade or anything. Yeah, I think so. The sword seems to be really fun. I think the sword is having a redemption arc. Ooh. I think you're right. You're right, because I think, you know, back when it was first forged, when was it first forged? How old is this? Maybe 1,000 years old or so? Not 100 years old. 1,000 at least. Yes, back then it was very easy to find someone to wield it to destroy everything. Vengeance in their blood. To wield it to the swords. Satisfaction. Less so nowadays. Does anyone have any thoughts on why it was forged? How it got its powers? Oh, so are we going with the oh dear. What is it? My head. Blue's head. Think in a linear fashion, Blue. That's more helpful. Linear. Linear. Blue is not thinking linearly. What is it? The bloodlust. Well, the wielders have to have that certain level of vengeance in order to get the sword's bloodlust. Ag. Originally. Wielder. W-I-E. To attain the sword's bloodlust powers. Ag. Sorry, I'm behind in chat. I am behind in chat. Maybe the sword once belonged to a mighty warrior king, but they were betrayed and all of their anguish was absorbed into the sword and it dulled into a dusty ancient ruin ever since. Oh, poor sword. Feeling sorry for it now. Sorry about that. Okay. Belonged to a mighty warrior king. They were betrayed, all their anguish absorbed into the sword. Dusty, ancient. Dueled? No, that was before. We want dulled now. No more dueling. Dulling. Dusty, ancient. Ruin of its former self. Maybe this is when, you know, a good fairy of some sorts put its, you know, curse or spell so it learns to help people now. fairy. I don't like spelling fairy like that. I like spelling fairy like that. Well, the sword would think it was curses. This is good. This is nice. Speaking of magical artifacts, there is a TT RPG where you roleplay as a talking artifact, creating your own lore and story as you pass on to different users. That is so cool. I've never heard of that. That's amazing. Sorry, I think I just went into imitating an Australian comedian from like 20 years ago or something. I have no idea. Just in how I said amazing there. No, I really do think it's amazing. That's a fantastic idea. Oh dear. For the mask, when you peer through it, you see a spirit. The spirit changes based on mood. For example, it becomes a child when energetic, or an emo teen when shy. Okay, so the mask is connected to a spirit and you can only communicate with it when you put it on? Something like that. Another thought of how the mask could work. The TPRPG is called Artifact. Might write that down. That would be very interesting to look into. Artifact TPRPG. Yeah, so we'll have to have a look. Sorry, volume. I'm mumbling. Less mumbling, Blue. Oh, the sword was forged for war, and its power stemmed from a mage trying to redeem it after the war ended. Okay, let's pop that down. Okay. Okay, so... So if it were originally created for war, these sort of bloodlust powers, it's reminding me of, I think there's a sword in the Witches of Ealanin, story in which the sword can't stop fighting until the battle is won. So maybe something along those lines. Out of can't stop fighting till the battle is over, at least. Battle is done. Whether or not won, maybe something else. Your powers. I am mage, trying to redeem it after the need for such war. Is there ever a need for such war? Oh, the sword might be forged by mighty blacksmith that was shamed by nobles of royalty, and now he seeks revenge. With a cursed sword, regicide the crown breaker. Call the sword Reg for short. Let's pop it in. Okay. Blacksmith shamed by royalty. Groundbreaker. So that, if we go with that scenario, anyone with any drop of royal blood left in them they'd still be able to use the sword because anyone can use it, but be highly disliked by the sword. Oh, dearie me. So I think just by, we have naturally come across the sword's sort of personality here. Have we... We haven't really figured out how the sword communicates or whether it does at all. Does the sword communicate with bearer? Or does it, you know, keep all its dislike and big ego quiet? Kind of like the idea of it having a huge ego but being almost unable to express it. Here we go. If the sword can't stop fighting, it must play a legally distincto Stop Me Now by Queen. Oh, the sword could talk to its wielders telepathically. Telepathic communication? Maybe. Sorry, my voice is starting to go more, isn't it? Goodness me, excuse me, sorry. I am loving this sword. I may play with ideas about this sword for one of the magical girl items in the story. Yeah, not all of the ideas, just pluck some ideas, particularly its personality. Drink water, please. Okay, sorry. Water time. Dear me. I should get some assets made. I need a lovely book asset and a lovely water asset, which we can just bring up when necessary. That would be fun. Goodness me. I do want to commission a lovely book asset for reading streams, you know, glittery, pretty book with pages that turn now and then. But yes, Blue can't approach people about that sort of thing. Oh dear. Or at the very least it takes at least half a year to work up to it. Also, it might take a while to find someone who could make that. I'm sure there's plenty of people who can and do it wonderfully. I'm sure a lot of them is slightly out of Blue's price range. Oh dear. Also, I agree, this sword is fun. I'm loving the sword. Plus 10 hydration. Oh, I might need another sip to get to plus 10. That was probably plus 6. That should do it. Oh, dearie me. So I guess we sort of got a fairly clear idea about Sword's likes and dislikes and opinions as well, just from all of this stuff that we've popped down. But if anyone has any other swordy related thoughts, let me know. Personal goals. Rule the world. Probably. Personal goals. Take over the world. Take over the world. Yep, that's not going to happen, Sword. I'm sorry. You're going to be too busy unconsciously helping people's grief and people's grief mend. Ah, there we go. Actually, before we move on from the sword to the mask, I'd like to try to think of a weakness of the sword. I mean, we know it's dull most of the time, which really annoys it, and there seems to be a lot that really annoys it, but an actual weakness. An actual weakness for the sword. Ah! Oh, yeah. So I need to go, but first one was the reading stream plan. I am not actually sure. I'm so sorry, because just getting into real life stuff at the moment. It's I'm cautiously optimistic that nothing absolutely terrible is going to happen with small one too. But you know, I'm needing to go to the doctors every week just to sort of make sure that nothing terrible is happening. But the instant we notice something terrible happening, if it, you know, happens in the next few weeks, it's sort of drop everything and baby is coming sort of thing. So it's a difficult thing to try to plan at this point. Okay,
Okay, so let's try to look at it this way. Let me look at the calendar. Assuming again that nothing terrible terrible happens. I have a cesarean booked for the 9th of August. So maybe if we aim for the 20, it seems too close to say the 29th. Well, either we can aim for a reading stream on the 29th of July, and it'll just have to be cancelled and pushed forward to when we come back, or maybe I can pop in during hiatus for one reading stream. But are people okay if we try to aim for the 29th? Would that work? Okay, well, if we optimistically aim for the 29th, I would let you know straight away if I can't do that date for whatever reason, because baby has to come before then or something. But sorry, I generally prefer to give you a bit more time than that, but hopefully that's okay. Oh, that sounds good. Fine with me. And stay safe and good night. Extremely early morning from Europe. Honestly, plenty of streams for when you can. I'll do my best. Honestly, I'm getting really antsy with streaming. I want to stream more than I'm currently streaming, so hopefully after hiatus I'll be able to find a way to do that. It might just mean there'll be streams at different times. I'll still hopefully be able to do a daytime stream for me, but possibly I'll be able to sneak in some nighttime streams for me, which is terrible timing for American viewers, but better, I think, for European and African viewers. But we will see. We will see. Sorry, I'm going to jump back and look at everyone's thoughts for sword weaknesses. Sharpeners, dull it. Can't cut through palm so you can catch it. Yes, was thinking. Yes, it's like eternally dull at the moment because no one's got the bloodlust levels. But so you mean trying to sharpen it only makes it duller. I get it now. Sorry. In my head, all I could see was sharpeners, like a pencil sharpener. I'm like, blue, how is that relevant whatsoever? But still, head was just going, pencil sharpeners. Yeah, that's not going to work. Nah. And maybe this is a problem. If you try to sharpen the sword and only gets dull, maybe the sword really likes the feeling of being sharpened, and that's its happy time, but it only makes things worse. By happy time, I mean relaxing fun times, not anything. Not relaxing fun times. Lou's mind is not lewd, so hopefully yours did not go to lewd places either when I said happy time. Oh dear, where are we? Another sore point for this one. Dear, so many sore points for this poor sword. Like, maybe its actual weakness could be the usual metal weaknesses, like not being taken care of. Oh yes, that's a good thought. Oh goodness me, 11 likes. Thank you so much. That's so lovely of you. Okay. Sword weaknesses. Actually fairly normal. Etc. Also, water, as in more of a weakness than ordinary metal. Just thinking about the lady in the lake with Excalibur now, and how the sword may have a problem with Excalibur because it can handle water. Oh dear, Excalibur.
Oh, I did it. Amazing. Whoopie-doopoo. Maybe being near a hopeful, selfless person weakens it. Oh dear. Maybe used to, but less so now, because I think I think it's just being wielded by so many nice people now, and it's just really upsetting it. But I don't think it's weakening it, so I think maybe part of its past powers before it was sort of, you know, unwillingly coaxed into its redemption arc. Nia. Its powers previously. Less so now. Whoopie-doopie-doo. Here we are. Okay, I really need to go to sleep now. Bye everyone, have fun making time traveling pocket watches or something. That sounds fun. Time traveling pocket watch. Oh dear, might hate churches or holy places with religious dogma or selflessness. Maybe. Hate. Sacred places that truly, yeah. Here we go. Through being submerged in the lake means Excalibur is 100% waterproof. Yes, and I think this sword is a little bit jealous, maybe. A little bit jealous of Excalibur. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, dearie me. Shall we think about the mask for a little while? Oh dear, big stretch. Big stretch. Oh, goodness me. How long have we been streaming? Almost 2 hours already. Should I really be this tired, though? Oh, goodness. So, this mask. So, we have 2 ideas of what it can do. So, mask reveals true self when you wear it. So, you can't lie, you can't hide. Anything like that, which begs the question, why would anyone put it on? Excuse me, sorry. And also the mask can be connected with a spirit. When you peer through it, you can see the spirit. The spirit alters depending on its mood or the bearer's mood. I think I prefer personally its mood, because I think the spirit is definitely its own being. So it's a spirit mask in this scenario. Oh, maybe the mask is used in a judiciary setting. That is really good. That is really cool. I love that. A lot of my fantasy stories wind up having some element of law in them, because my past job was connected to law, so I always found it very interesting mixing magic and the judiciary. Oh, that's a great idea. Witnesses, defendants, everyone's got to wear them. Much like a lie detector of some sorts. Yes, yes. Like a lie detector. But imagine there'd be some controversy over how what's the term? Efficacious? How well it works, whether it's been tampered with. How well it works, etc. So I imagine there's only certain situations where they would bring this out. Yes, in the story cycle that I work on, once I eventually start releasing it, I think this will pop up in book 5, where oh yes, there's a mind reader who used to work in the courts a lot, But oh, what's the term? He's been. What is the term? What is the term when he used to be very trusted, but no longer? His reputation has been brought into question, sort of. So it does not work for the courts anymore. Excuse me, sorry. Yes, and I think after all of that, they barely use mind readers in court anymore because people just don't trust the mind readers to sufficiently convey the truth. So is that another option? Maybe mysterious salesman sells the mask, advertised as Amex. Makes you better, more beautiful, stronger, etc. Revelis again with the Revelis. Reveals desires. Oh dear. Oh dear. So where were you at the time of the murder of Grognall the Storekeeper? I was in your house, Your Honour, having an affair. Oh goodness me. Yes, it could lead to some awkward situations. Oh dear. Oh dear. Lots of ideas for mask powers. So I have a feeling with the spirit mask idea was somehow created at the time of the person's death to help them achieve something, maybe. Yeah, one final task or something like that. But what about the revealing masks? How are they? Oh, not just how. It's always how and why. Oh dear, how and why were they made? Excuse me, sorry. Of all of the items so far, with the sort of revealing mask, less so with the spirit mask, but with the revealing mask, it seems the most sort of neutral artifact so far. Very neutral. Possibly very low sentience. It just is and does. What it is and affects whoever wears it. You know, no spite, no hopes, no nothing. Just is. That feels sort of right for me for this particular mask. And I kind of like the idea with the magical girl thoughts I've been having, that every now and then there's an item like this too. Goodness me, they're almost scarier, aren't they? Scary in their neutralness. Oh, what if it doesn't actually transform you, but the user believes they're transformed? I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Oh dear. Oh, so like a shy person who doesn't fight, thinks they're brave and strong, but they just look like a big jerk. Oh dear. Oh, there could be a defective revealing mask with sass. That could be very funny, and that could be a reason why they've run into some courtroom problems if we're going with that scenario. Every now and then, odd out. Shows some sass. They don't actually transform you. The user believes they're transformed. Okay, so that's with the salesman style mask. So mask doesn't actually change you, but makes you 100% believe you're changed. So shy person believes brave and strong. But still, they're not actually brave and strong, they're just being a jerk. These masks don't sound very nice. Yeah. We'll see. Act all tough and cold, but deep down you're a big softie, and the mask winks and laughs. Oh dear. Lou's getting a little bit mixed up. I think we've got 3 different versions of the masks going. No, it is... can get a little confusing, but again, brainstorming. Just throwing all the ideas down. Oh, another line of thought is the mask can take away faces, then apply the faces that it's taken away. Face stealing. Ah! 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 Lou does not like face stealing. Ah! But I suppose could be very useful for espionage purposes. Useful for espionage. Oh, dearie me. Face stealing. Face stealing. Lou does not like face stealing. Sorry, Lou still has snacks in her bowl. Oh, dearie me. Oh, goodness me. Spell that. Oh, what if the mask looks blank, but when you put it on it smiles and goes invisible, but the wearer will still see bits of the inside? Goodness me. Maybe put a limit of 3 faces at a time can be stored in the mask. Okay. And mask looks blank. Put it on. Smiles. Disappears. No, the fact that it smiles makes these ones seem less neutral and more very slightly insidious at the very least. I think we may just have to leave Ashley's very cool idea here, because I think it would be unfair to try to brainstorm too much on that without Ashley. So we will keep it there so it will be remembered. And just one. What are we up to? There'll be 5 there. Okay. So again, bits and pieces of parts of mask personality and stuff popping up just by talking about powers, which is kind of cool. I'm thinking about the reveals true self sort of mask. Was that sort of crafted to be used in like law settings, or is that just sort of what it's used for now? What was it originally? Well, I kind of like the idea that it was originally crafted for this purpose, but it's sort of gone out of fashion using it for various reasons. Created by lawyer wizards. justice system of complicated laws where the truth not necessarily gains you innocence. Goodness me. That's unfortunate. Oh dear me. So we've had a skillet, we've had a candle, we have had a sword, and we have had a mask. Do we want to move on and do... I had been hoping to get a few more done, but I think we may have to cut it off at one more because my voice is starting to go again. I'm sorry, I usually like to go as long as I possibly can for brainstorming streams, but Lee probably shouldn't lose her voice again. More water. Plus it's cold in here and I should probably light a fire. I keep meaning to light one before we start and, you know, be a little hopeful that it will crackle nice and loudly and the microphone will pick up the wood burning ambience. That would be nice. But given I usually walk the small one to and from school, by the time I get back home there's enough time to set up the stream, get a water bottle, and that's pretty much it. Goodness me, I would love to start streaming slightly earlier in the morning for me at 9. That's the exact time the small one has to be at school. I think next year I may be able to drop her off a bit earlier so long as she's happy to do that, but we will just have to see what happens. Okay, so again, if you have any more masky, swordy, candly, skillety related thoughts, still throw them in the comments and I will go back and add them. But let's do one more. Has anyone not given us a thought for an item who would like to give us an item? I think Elfie gave us the sword. I think Hot Guy gave us the candle. Mine was the skillet. Does anyone want to throw out an idea for our 5th mystical artifact? Oh, I haven't. Okay, what do you want? What do you want? And if Cyrix, if you want to give us one too, we'll see if we can go fast enough to get 2 more done. And just try to do them simultaneously. Let's watch Blue's brain fall apart trying to do that. Okay. So if you both want to give me one, and if anyone else is there who wants to give us one, we can always throw down a bunch at the bottom, because I will be, assuming I don't forget like I frequently do, I'll pop up the notes we've taken. I usually make a Tumblr post about them and link the Tumblr post in a community note on YouTube, and I also link it in our community Discord. Well, yes, if you're not a member of the Discord and you'd like to be, there should be a link in the description, and you are so very welcome there. There is a little bit of random pleasant chat, and also a lot of us tend to be creatives, and so there is a chance to share your writing or your art, and it is altogether a very pleasant place to be, and you are so welcome. Where are we? Sorry, I'm lost. I mean, Reaper of Crows can do it. Okay, thank you, Cyrix. How about a book that can store your dreams? Ooh, very nice. I do want one of the big magical items in this magical girl's thought that I've had to be an ancient tome. I don't think I want that tome to store dreams. But this one does. This one does. A book that can store your dreams. Okay, so how does it collect dreams? How was it originally created? Does it detail. I don't know. If anyone has any questions for this artifact, this might have been a more intelligent way to go about things if we just came up with questions together and then tried to answer them instead of just, let's think about this. Oh dear, it would make things more organized, wouldn't it? Maybe next time we can try that. How does it collect dreams? How is it... Not just how and why. I suppose that's something that seems to pop up a little bit. There's a lot of, not a lot of why to some magical items. I mean, sure this is a magical singing teapot, but why does it exist? I suppose a lot of the time it's just because it can. Because it could be made, and so it was, as opposed to having any, you know, deep purpose. I suppose not everything needs to have a deep purpose. And I do like the occasional just, I'm magical because. But a book that can store your dreams sounds like it was made for a specific reason. Like, maybe a wizard has a child that has night terrors or something, and by collecting them in the book, it stops the child from having that particular dream again. I imagine the book could get very, very full if the poor child's mind just keeps creating new nightmares. Could have been created by a witch who wanted to help people understand the inner psyche or something. Ooh. It's a good thought. Maybe it was originally a mind-stealing book, but the magic waned over aeons of time, resulting in it to store only dreams as of the moment. Also very cool. Do we have any thoughts on how the book sort of collects dreams? And by collect, it's, by this point, it's not steal, is it? It's not taking the dreams out of their heads completely, it's just recording them. Let's just see. Just recording the dreams, or actually lifting them out of people's heads. And, well, does how they're recorded depend on the person? Like, if it was a child, would it be sort of more abstract or perhaps more visual, but for some other people it might be more text-based, or... Yeah, it's a dream recorder. Think of a literal dream journal that people like to use. Okay, literal dream recorder. My immediate thought then was, in what scenario could this dream record sort of be used against people? Could there... I don't know, my head immediately went court-mandated dream recording again. When would there be mandated dream recording? Sorry, that's just where my head went. I think it only works on people with mana. So, is that magical people, sorry? Mana as in, like, Final Fantasy mana points? I like that. Depending on the personality, it could be translated as pictures or text. I do like that too. Hopefully that will work. I mean, hopefully that will work. It's our brainstorming session. Everything can work. Sorry, my water bottle's almost empty. There'll be enough to soothe my throat before attempting to sing our farewells. Singing, that's right. That's why it was such a poor time to lose my voice. I did want to do at least one karaoke stream before going on hiatus. So hopefully my voice will heal enough to do that. Well, if I'll aim for Slay the Princess or another game next week, I'll see what I can pull together for karaoke for the week after, assuming, you know, nothing terrible happens. Oh, dearie me. You know, my voice probably still won't be quite up to scratch, which might be a little embarrassing for Blue, because this is a little difficult to explain. Well, I suppose my perfectionism has something to do with it, but I don't like sort of opening my mouth to sing unless I know someone is going to enjoy it. So if I'm not going to sound good, I don't really like to do it. And, you know, I'm far from the world's best singer, but I'm reasonably good. So, yeah, I'd like to sound reasonably good for you. So hopefully my voice will improve a little bit before then. Oh, now I'm thinking of magical girls in suits lawyering case in Magical Girl Court. I love it. I want it. Users usually pair it with a mana stone so it can work with manaless people. Okay. Magical Girl Court. Like to hear you sing, although don't push yourself too hard. Thank you. I made it a thing for various reasons to sing the parting glass at the end of every stream. I think my original reasoning was in the VTuber community. Some people just have to disappear forever so quickly, and while that is definitely not my intention ever, I just sort of liked the idea of, you know, if I did suddenly have to leave, I've already said goodbye, sort of thing. So I guess that's why I started with the parting glass. Oh goodness, if I do a karaoke, I should really sing all of the parting glass, shouldn't I? I normally just sing a tiny bit at a time. It's the same verse. Does it count as a verse when there's not exactly verses and choruses? I think it does. Stanza? Something like that. I want Magical Girl Court now. Excuse me. I think as well, you know, these could be used in treating mental health as well. Just how common are these? Can they be reasonably easily created? Or is this like most of the well, the mask less so. There were more masks, but the other three were all very, very rare magical items. How common? Unique is this magical item? Can they be, for want of a better term, mass-produced? I kind of like the idea that they could be mass-produced to be used in health and legal settings. Objection, Your Honor. The thievery of magic happened at 2 p.m, but my client here was still at school. Right, Miss Cardcaptor Sakura? Oh dear. Oh dear. Poor Sakura. Who's Sakura's lawyer? Is it Kero? I can see Kero. I can see Kero being a defense lawyer. A little briefcase, little hat, little tie. So very cute. Oh, dearie me. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry. If they can can be potentially mass produced, probably by you know, factory worker, which is which factory? Which factory? Oh, dearie me. So, if they can be sort of mass produced for use in health and legal settings, I think in general intended to be neutral, but maybe with all the dreams that they record tend to affect their personalities or something like that. To be neutral and probably without sentience. They wouldn't intend these to be sentient, I think. But the dreams affect them. The dreams affect them. Create and alter personalities. Maybe the more dreams they collect, the more sentient they become. And I imagine there's some very, very old ones that have been used for many powerful people. And I suppose they'd have really twisted personalities, but would they be dangerous in their own right? Like, can they do something now because of all the dreams they've recorded and the personalities or is it just, I suppose they've gained sentience. They could exert some sort of control over whoever's currently using it. Have you watched Madoka? I did. I watched, I haven't watched the movies or anything after the original series, but I watched it a very long time ago, and I admit I watched it very quickly. Should probably watch it again. It's just, Madoka is incredible. It's amazing. And the music is just out of this world. I love it so much. I wish I could create music like that. But I am sadly limited to entering notes one at a time into MuseScore to try to get melodies out of my head. Okay, so probably some very old used for a number of very powerful people, created books with strange, twisted personalities. Do they become dangerous in their own right? Maybe in the same way that, you know, humans can be dangerous, you know, unarmed humans just with words can become a dangerous influence on people or something. Oh dear, maybe if they gain sentience, they recreate the dreams as some kind of amorphous chimera. Goodness me. Once gain sentience, the ability to recreate the dreams. Maybe initially just in people's heads as sort of creating hallucinations, but eventually do you think powerful enough to actually bend reality? Goodness me, bring nightmare to life. Maybe there's a lot of rules in place then that if, you know, books are routinely checked to check sentience levels and stuff, and if they reach a certain level they're supposed to be destroyed. But maybe someone you know, steals books meant to be destroyed. It's got to be hard. Maybe it's hard to destroy them. Um, Hello, Kayume. Lovely to see you. If a different person uses it, it can reveal secrets from the original user. The second user can go mad depending on the content of the book. Yes, it might be dangerous to use for more than one person. It's probably outlawed now, but the really old ones would have been used for lots of people, and possibly the minds of previous users have affected current ones. That's a good idea. More specific blue. I imagine anyone can read what's already there, but possibly they wouldn't be able to know the significance. So using the book reveals the significance of previous streams, which could be a lot to handle. Oh, dearie me. This is all such good stuff. Maybe you can recycle the books to making new books. Excuse me. Just take the old dream papers out and replace with a new paper. Okay, what happened? And they just need to destroy the other pages? Okay, recycling. Recycling the dream books. So it's more the magic sort of in the covers as opposed to the paper itself. If we can just replace it with any paper, and the paper becomes sort of magical once it's placed within the covers. I do like this one a lot too. I mean, I like all of them. They're all super interesting. Goodness me. I suppose it's just interesting to think about as well. You know, magical items just being used in everyday life and, you know, barely seen as magic because they're just so commonplace. But they still, you know, have these dangers attached that most people aren't even aware of. I suppose like all the dangers attached to everyday things now that, you know, most people are aware of to some extent, but it's just back of the mind, you know, it's never going to affect me sort of thing. Goodness me. Okay. Just let me jump back to the things that we're thinking about. So it's a bit hard to do all of these ones if, you know, the books are fairly commonplace. Can't really, they'll all be different likes and dislikes, and even then the only ones that would really have likes and dislikes and habits are the ancient, scary ones. There'd still be a few of them. I suppose something we never really talked about a huge amount was the relationships with users. And actually, I kind of like the idea. Where are you? That the new mass-produced versions, like even though without sentience, if they're sort of designed to sort of bring comfort, or at least to help someone fall asleep. So I don't know, maybe it has a gentle, sleepy influence on the mind if you put it under your pillow or something. Which I suppose isn't really building a relationship as such, but if they're designed to sort of be gentle and have that sort of effect. Or beside bed, wherever it works. Yes, under pillow. Beside bed, it's near you. But I suppose very twisted relationships between very old, potentially evil dream books and whoever is unfortunate enough to stumble upon them. I can just sort of see these things filled with nightmare worlds of ancient despots and just sort of exerting evil influence on these poor unfortunates and getting them to do terrible things. Probably. Oh, do you think the books, and I suppose personality of the books developed changes depending on the dream, so it's probably depending just on the personalities of the users as well. Okay, so because they're becoming, I suppose if they're recording someone's dreams, they're becoming a bit of a reflection of that person. Alrighty. I think we've been going for a little over 2.5 hours. I would love to keep going and do more, but Blue's throat is about to give way, and I have just a dribble left. Blue's dribble of water is gone. Excuse me, sorry. So, if I hit save, it auto-saves. I still have to hit save even though it auto-saves. Just in case. Just in case. Let us jump, jump, jump over here. Over here, over here. Where are my lyrics? Parting Glass lyrics. Here they are. So thank you so much for brainstorming with Blue. I did enjoy this topic. Again, you know, as we said, things did get slightly crazier than perhaps ideal in trying to create just, you know, a mystical artifact for each one, but nothing wrong with many versions of things. It is brainstorming. Everything counts. Everything is wonderful. And so, what's the date we're aiming for? The 29th. The 29th of July is the stream date. I am intending at this point now to read your stories. So if anyone has been inspired by our mystical artifacts, or you have any ideas that you're a little shy and weren't sure about sharing, anything, any inspiration, any desire to write, please go for it. I want to read your stories. Yes, keeping in mind I do read them on stream. Probably best not to go too nuts as far as length is concerned. But, you know, a sentence, paragraph, poem, short story, a slightly longer short story. Excuse me, sorry. Probably even something up to 6,000 words or so I could probably pull off. But whatever you want to create, I want to read it. And it was a bit difficult in the beginning to figure out the best way to share these, but it's probably easiest to post wherever you want and point me to it in the Discord server. I think it's Ashley and Elfie have written most of the stories so far, and they post on Scribble Hub, and Blue also made a Scribble Hub in case it would make things easier. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you so much. But yes, if you write a story related to mystical artifacts, post it wherever you're happy to post it, wherever you're comfortable. We use the hashtag MacGuffins you write because MacGuffins is our community name. Yay! We love MacGuffins here. And in the Discord server there is a MacGuffins you write dedicated, what's the word? Room? Channel. I think it's channel. Where you can post a link and you can also, chat to people for ideas, share thoughts, anything you like there. And I only ask for you to try to have it up the day before the 29th to make sure I can find it. But I suppose as well, you can always ask during the stream if anyone has any stories, and you can always point me to it then and we can find it then. But again, the 29th is a working date, given anything might happen between now and then, given small 1-2. I will give small 1-1 and small 1-2 streaming names to make this less confusing. But small 1-1 made that slightly difficult because I wanted to give her and small 1-2 their own colours, but small 1-1 knows I am blue and she wants to be blue as well. So whenever I ask her, do you want to be lavender or lilac or violet because purple is her favourite colour, she goes, no, she wants to be blue too. So I may just have to overrule her in that case and give her a purple based colour. She can be lilac moony or lavender moony or something along those lines. And we'll give small 1-2 a colour once they are on the scene. And that will be nice. I'd kind of like to, if I can pull it off, commission a family photo maybe. That might be nice. Alrighty. So if anyone has any random questions about MacGuffins You Write streams, I did notice a lot of lovely new people. It was so lovely to see you. Not even all new people, some people I haven't seen for a while, and it was just so lovely to see you here. Thank you so much. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in Discord as well about how MacGuffins You Write works. And we should probably finish up. Where are my lyrics? I did look them up. This could be very amusing. We'll see how my voice holds out. So yes, thank you so much again. Well, is there any word count limit? At this point, not really. Yeah, and the only thing to keep in mind is I'll be reading them aloud on stream, because given Blue is quite a small creator still at this point, it's unlikely she'll have more than a small handful of beautiful stories to read at this point. If Blue was a bigger streamer and there were many people writing stories, she'd probably have to go through and pick them out. But at this point, she can pretty much read all of them. But the longest I can probably stream at any one time is 4 hours. So long as it's not too long, it should be alright. Like, if you're approaching novella length, that might be pushing it. Novella is pushing it. Ooh, on my way to break the longest fanfic record. Oh my goodness me. That is cool. That is cool. That's a Smash Brothers one, isn't it? The longest, am I right? The longest fan fiction currently in existence is a Smash Brothers fic? My fic that my main magical project is based on It's nowhere near the longest, but it's pretty long. I think it's slightly over 400,000 words. So plenty of material, plenty of material to repurpose into my main magical project. Oh, dearie me. Again, so lovely to brainstorm with you. Thank you so much. If this is our last brainstorming session before I need to go on hiatus, thank you again. It's been lovely. And we will hopefully get back into brainstorming streams not long after I return. Mind blank. How many times has that happened today? Many, 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 many. Finishing stream. Let's do that. So wherever you are in the world, good night to you, or good evening, good afternoon, or good morning. And whoa, yeah, it was the Super Smash Brothers Bro figure. 7 million words. 7 million. That is amazing. A bit unhinged, but amazing. Yes. Wherever you are in the world. I said that already. I'll say it again. Good night to you, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and I hope the rest of your day is absolutely lovely. Oh, and I can't even finish my short story. I know the feeling. I have lots of difficulty getting anything done. It's oh, Blue finally finished the Pitchfork story. Hooray! I finished the Pitchfork story. And so as soon as my voice recovers enough, I'll record that and post that as an audiobook video. If anyone hasn't seen my audiobook videos, they're there. They're there. Blue stories. Up for you to read if you would like. Oh, good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. To you too, Aunt Theo. Bye-bye, Blue. Bye, Cyrix. Bye, Cyrix. Hope you have a wonderful day, because that is what you deserve. Let's sing, if I can. Of all the money that e'er I had, I have spent it in good company. Oh, I'm putting in a little extra vibrato to try to disguise the sick quaver. Oh, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. Blue, why did you start so high when you're sick? And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. Oh, and I hope the next time I sing to you, I can actually sound like myself again. Oh, goodness me. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you again. I am waving my hands wildly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ending scene. Bye-bye.